Hello, everyone. This is David Ruff. I'm in the beautiful city of Toronto, Canada, and I can tell you today is another day, but another steaming dumpster fire. I mean, it's hilarious how this keeps happening, but it's terrible what's left in the wake. They are saying we're not in recession and there is no inflation. So I don't know what kind of twilight zone I'm living in, but let's get into it. If we open up our first page that we're going to be looking at today, this is a story that you can go find online. This is Newsbusters. So if you look at it, the Soros-funded Wikipedia redefines recession. Now, whether or not we are actually in recession, I don't actually think is even the question. The economy is collapsing. The stock market is down 30% from where it was. Some stocks are down 80 or 90%. It's the worst start since we've had records going back to the Great Depression. Home prices in Toronto down 35, 40%, depending on the area. I mean, there's chaos absolutely everywhere. In this article, of course, they don't like George Soros because he gave a lot of money to Wikipedia. He's a very liberal-minded billionaire. But besides that, this is the main point. Wikipedia allowed at least 116 edits to the recession page in the past week. And it appeared an attempt to downplay the word technical definition. Okay, so for all of time, the technical definition for a recession was 2 quarters of negative growth. This doesn't matter to the country. It doesn't matter to the decade. 2 quarters of negative growth means we're in a recession. So we are absolutely 1,000% in negative growth, but the governments are trying to say, well, we have good employment, so we're not in recession. Listen, guys, all the white collar jobs where the big money is made, they're pretty much evaporated. They're not around. All the jobs of people who are looking to get jobs are working at McDonald's or something like that. So job report is not what it may seem. So this technical definition, if you go into the Wikipedia page, which is what they're complaining about, the United States still is not listed there as in recession, which is a massive problem. Of course, we're in a recession, guys. Like, who on the right planet thinks that we're not in a recession? In addition, if we go over to the other page, which is the inflation page, now you can go get this at Shadow Stats. If you go look up that page, our inflation, if we measure it the exact same way as we did in the 80s, now inflation would be hitting about 17%, but the government only wants to announce about 9%. Why on earth would they only say 9%? Because they want to keep everybody happy, make them feel that things aren't as bad as it actually is. But anybody who has half a brain these days knows that fuel is not up 9%, it's doubled. A lot of food is up double, not 9%. Cars are up more than 9%. Houses are definitely up more than 9%. So what is this 9% they speak of, right? So this is where, you guys, we have to get our own information and understand how to process this ourselves, because we have to get the inflation numbers, and we can go to a website like that to find out what the real inflation is. But you guys actually have a good sense of what it is, right? You who are going to buy groceries realize that we don't have that kind of money. So we have to make sure that we are keeping track of how much money that we're spending, make sure that we know what is out there, but invest accordingly. So we look at people like Apple that have $50 billion in the bank, yet they are still borrowing money to buy back their shares because they're actually getting negative yielding rates. They're getting paid to borrow. So this is the kind of crazy thing that we are. Listen, don't listen to the mainstream media. I want you to take the information and really process it yourself on how inflation works, what it's doing to your buying power, and how to invest in a good way. In the old days, of course, it was a king of England or landlords that owned huge tracts of land and all the peasants had to pay rent to them. This is just another form, another way that very top individuals will get very rich through inflation. Governments will be able to liquidate their debt. The International Monetary Fund that says that is the best way to reduce their debt is just to print a lot of money. And a lot of governments are doing it. So if we dig a little bit, find out the truth, you can process for yourself what to do. And I don't think it takes a rocket science to figure out what to do as long as you have the right information. Just I would try to form your own opinions instead of trusting what the talking heads online are doing. Anyway, I'm always there for you. Remember to like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Have a great day.